Well, been a bit since the last Mesopas update video, huh? Sadly, I don't have the biggest update for you today. The next major video is a huge undertaking, and that's gonna be a couple more months yet, at least. But in the meantime, I figured I should show you that I'm updating some older designs. And of course, I've started with the oldest of them. So here's the new looks for the Mesopas region's starters and their evolutions. So, you're familiar with the old art here. Let's go line by line and compare them. Mossilas is largely just proportion adjustments, and the texture of the moss patches. Conceptually, the original design was flawless. There wasn't much to do there. Fenlekara was a huge improvement. The pose in the original artwork was awkward and frankly stupid. The new pose is far better, and has improved proportions while keeping the same general base intact. Phydogris was also largely a pose change. The new one is dynamic, defensive, but prepared to pounce and strike. It shows off its most detailed parts while also being a functional combat pose with the extra armor facing forward and all the moss visible to draw its grass-type moves from. It's also removed the moss beard for something more gender-neutral. But I'm updating their Pokédex entry to state that this species often styles their moss, so they can easily have one with long moss hair, a beard, a crew cut, whatever you like. Also, here's all the shinies. I went with the blue clay due to there being a rare natural blue clay in Siberia that made for an excellent contrast. Moving on to fire, Fuosin's new art is largely proportions and pose again, as well as improving the fire's presentation. Infiamare changed the least, but the new pose is a massive improvement. Lastly, Inciaval didn't change its pose, but the proportions are more accurate, and the additional detail of the blue X on its flank is meant to resemble the red crosses worn on the armor of Crusader horses. And of course, here's the shinies, with the flame colors also inverted. The biggest change by far, though, is the water-type starter line, which I redid practically from the ground up, with a huge new change to their inspiration. So I'll show them all at once. Here's Hysarpa, Raisarpa, and Hynaga 2.0. The biggest change is obviously the colors. So the question is, why did I pick them? Well, you may recall they're water-electric type, and I wanted to give them some conductive parts. And then it hit me. Nehushtan, the brass serpent idol made by Moses. It was meant to be protective and guiding, but ended up becoming a false idol, and was promptly torn down. But its cultural significance and ties to Moses, all his connections to water and lightning, and the conductivity of brass, it all came together to make a beautiful collage of elements that made for the perfect Pokemon inspiration. And so I redesigned Hysarpa's line with it in mind, resulting in horns and scales laden with brass, much of which gets oxidized, but the parts consistently used to conduct and expel electricity undergo electrolysis, and the rust is stripped off. And of course, there are the shinies, made of copper, silver, and gold. All excellently conductive metals that provide quite the color palette. And so, this line's update was the largest and most taxing, but the end result makes these three lines feel truly equal now, and I couldn't be happier with it. But that's all the content and time I have for you now. I have a lot of work to do on other original content, and the next big Mesopas video. So, like, comment, subscribe, pass this around, and I hope to see you all again next time the Mesopas region is updated, with a massive original gameplay mechanic I think you're gonna love. Thanks for watching, guys.